Hey there, it's Sunday morning, and I just released a video on making this thing here. Actually, I designed and made the 3D printed version first, and that's in the video as well. But I decided to make it from wood as well. Yeah, so pretty good looking and works well. The downside of this one is the sharpening stone that I used here. If I were going to use this one all the time, I wouldn't be using this. I mean, it's an option. But the sandpaper, even the grinding belt, this is a 2x72 grinding belt, actually. They wear out relatively quick because it's going slow. Right? These belts are designed, the grit that's on these belts for grinding steel is designed to go fast. Okay? And when you go slow, you just break the grit off, basically. So yeah, if I were to do this again for this particular one here, like to make a stone for it, I just take a regular sharpening stone. I have one here somewhere that's two grits, a fine and a medium, okay, on one side and then the other. And I'd carefully drill a hole in the end like I did with this one. And I would glue the dowel in using some epoxy or polyurethane construction adhesive or thickened super glue or something like that. But I wouldn't be relying on this particular stuff. You know, it's okay. Like, okay, maybe I'm overstating it, because in reality, unless you're in a sharpening business, I mean, you're going to be sharpening knives maybe like with something like this, maybe 3-4 times a year. And if that's the case, then something like this is very cost effective. You buy two belts, a fine, which is this one right here, and a medium, which is this one right here. You cut it into pieces that fit on here, and you use double-sided tape. And then when you need to change it, just peel it off, clean it up, put on the new one. All right? The better solution is the diamond plate that I used in the 3D printed one. It's also more compact and easier to handle. It's stuck on there with two magnets, and you do one side, the medium, which is 300 grit on that, and then you flip it over and you do the fine, 600 grit, and that gets it really, really sharp. But anyway, yeah, the idea was to make it both ways, from wood and from 3D printing, because mainly that's what I do, is make things from wood, right? Or I always have. So I doubt the video will do well, mainly because, well, I didn't tabloid it up. You know, we're on YouTube. This tabloid YouTube now. It's not like it was. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it should go back or anything like that. I'm just saying to make a video sell to the people that watch these things, to a lot of people, you have to glitz it up. You have to employ some trickery in the title and also in the thumbnail to, you know, build some mystery there and some intrigue, and make them so that they absolutely have to click. They see the thumbnail there and they say, what the heck is that? I've got to check that out. So I didn't do that. I just gave it a pretty straight up title, and the thumbnail is just the two sharpeners side by side. So right off the bat, there's no mystery I'm doing. And if you want to watch it, then, you know, you have to click on the video based on those two things, right? So yeah. And the other thing about it is that it involves knives. And YouTube over the past few years has taken out, I don't know, a war on anything that they consider weapons. You know, everything about YouTube is a lot different from what it was. I mean, you can watch a video and leave a comment, and it used to be your comment would be there. I commented on this in a video a few months ago, actually, and as if to prove me right, there were several comments made on that video that are not visible in general. You have to click the button that says sort by and select newest, and then it'll show all the comments, even the ones that are hidden by YouTube. Not hidden by me, hidden by the nanny state that YouTube has become. So my video on knife sharpeners probably won't do well because of those two things. First of all, I didn't jazz it up. I didn't clickbait it. I've talked about clickbait before. Everything's clickbait. Some is effective, some is not. The stuff that I used here is not a big, fat, juicy worm. It's kind of a shriveled up, half alive one. Okay, that I put on the hook, and it didn't even moan when I did it. And I threw it out, and the fish say, "What the heck is that? A twig? I'm not eating that." So anyway, yeah, and then the bias against anything that can be considered a weapon. Okay, because knives, all it needs to see is knives. Dangerous, it's dangerous. I also talked about the ridiculousness of one of my web pages on my website being limited for ads because it's on that katana that I made from wood. They consider it a weapon. Now, I never bothered to appeal it, but it still keeps coming up and coming up. You know that no human has ever looked at this. It's just a programmed thing that it looks for. So it looks for word matches on things, and it makes the decision. And there's no human involved. Okay, so what else? I've got other projects coming up over the next few months. Like I've said many times in the past, a year, I'm slowing things down. I'm not going to be putting out as much content anymore. And what I'm putting out, I'm hoping will be good. I'm going to stay away from the small novelty projects that have been so very good to me over the years, and concentrate on the bigger ones that make more sense to me. Now, I mean, I can at least get some enthusiasm for them. These other novelty projects, and you know what, you can leave now. It's probably right in the sidebar, wherever you're watching this video, you can probably see some of these projects that I'm talking about. Novelty. And I've made a lot over the years, and I can look around here and I can maybe see 2 or 3. Some of the most popular ones that I've made having to do with sanding, I would never use, not in reality. But people, they want to see the fast, easy, simple. They want to do 7 or 8 different things at one time. I mean, if you can cut and sand at the same time, they love that. They want to see that. Okay? Anyway, so getting back to the sharpener, I have a modification, not in particular for this one, although it will work because this is exactly the same, other than the way this fits in here. I use an octagon in the other one, and I just made it square here. There's no need. It just needs to keep it flat and make it so that you can flip it over, right? It just fits in. There's nothing locking it or anything. But I've designed, or I started to design, it's not completely finished yet, a holder that will allow you to use the same chisel sharpener, the same sharpener, kind of gave it away there, the same sharpener, the knife sharpener, with a different attachment to sharpen chisels. And it will go in from the back, like this. Okay, and it'll stick out, and then you'll use the stone in the same way to sharpen the edge on the chisel. So that'll be coming up. That won't be a separate video because I actually have a dedicated chisel sharpener, and that I did as well, and that'll be included in that. The accessory for this, okay? And before there's ever a video, because I don't know exactly when that video will be ready, because I haven't even started to film it yet, not really. Well before that, it'll show up on Patreon Locals as the file that you can download and print yourself, right? Or if you want to take a crack at building it from wood, you know, you can do that. I mean, I don't have any plans for this, but, you know, if you're a decent woodworker, you can see basically everything here. You know, these jaws, the way they work, everything's shown very clearly. And then also you could get the 3D printed version and look at that, print it and look at that, use that to make one from wood if you wanted to. But for me, you know, this would be like a museum piece that I won't be using. Well, I'll be using constantly, steadily, well, as many times as I need it anyway, the 3D printed version.
Can you honestly tell me the difference between cow meat and man meat?
Don't get stupid with me, man.
You hit me in the face as hard as you can, and I'll bite you with my teeth.
You bite me with your teeth, and I'll knock your teeth down your throat.
Let's both dump on the floor.
Guys!